Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
BonV is a deep tech drone startup that develops advanced logistic drones. These drones have the capability of operating in high altitudes and challenging environmental conditions, which makes people experience convenience and safety even in the most adverse conditions.
We are building aerial mobility platforms for goods and people transportation. You know, all this particular idea of building an aerial mobility platforms, and this is used in the hilly terrains right now. This came when I was traveling in the Himalayas for my previous project, where faced a numerous number of challenges along with the army. Particularly, what does army is all on logistics, right? A lot of stocking happens. It's called winter stocking for army, where there is rations, ammunitions, the stores and everything in snow-cladded Himalayan mountainous area is stocked for 6 months and then consumed for over another 6 months. So this is something we knew that it is a a bigger pain point, but also had realized when we were staying with the army units in their camp, could see that only we could get like a can of tuna fish or a tetra packs of food packets and then dry fruits. It's very difficult to actually consume these in cold environment where the temperature is already negative. At the same time, snows around and you are at high altitude. So always, the oxygen level, it's a rarefied atmosphere, the oxygen level is low. We started BonV with the motto that we will solve the problem for our Indian defense at first. And 2021 March is when we started BonV, and we developed India's first logistic drone that can carry 50 kgs of cargo in the Himalayan high altitude areas. These altitudes are 10,000 feet and above. It took us almost 3 years now. We are in a 3 years journey, and a lot of learning, as an ample amount of learning. When we just started, we thought in the 6 months we will have the product and army would be using it, right? And when we developed the product in the lab, we set up our R&D lab in Bhubaneswar. We had all our testing at the ground in the lab conditions. We got incubated at CV Raman Global University inside the campus, and we got a lot of local support from KIT. We got support from IIT Bhubaneswar. We got a lot of support from the IIT Mandi, being at the hilly areas. When we went with the product and started doing our first level of trial, the product fell flat. It did not actually perform to what we to the desired level. Like lifting load was, we kind of really felt that it's too much of complex problem really, because we started seeing the environmental problem then and there, where we already were catered, had catered to a 50-60% of the problem. So that actually helped us to scale the areas where actually we did not pay attention. and 6 months, 1 year in a row, staying in the hilly area was also very, very challenging, very, very tough for people. Our team members were continuously falling sick, and going rotating back and back to Bhubaneswar, going back again. But yes, we did not give up. We continued testing. The field trial continued for a long duration, where we really understood that there are areas of motor controllers needs a lot of improvement. Really, the autonomy stack really needs a lot of improvement, because essentially in a hilly area you are actually crossing from a valley to mountains, and you are crossing not just one mountain but a number of mountains. And the moment you actually like go over a mountain, then your communication link gets lost. And how do what do you do, the vehicle, how does it actually perform or behave in case of a communication fail, in case of a communication lost. And as it is a logistic drone, and this is not like a a surveillance kind of drone, this required to be land at the destination and deliver the payload, because it would be carrying like ammunition, or it will be carrying like green vegetables, ration, medicines. This need to actually land, and then the payload need to be taken out. And after that, the challenge was like you will need to have a pilot and a ground control station again to take off from there, which was very difficult on an operational environment to actually afford like 2 pilots at 2 stations. Then we had to develop the entire autonomy stack to ensure that at the destination location, once the drone has landed, to again take off, you don't need like a joystick, you don't need like a ground control station and the instrument over there. The beauty is we developed by understanding that requirement, and with a press of a button, it will come back to your starting point autonomously. So similarly, there were actually a lot of improvement that happened to the Aero structures because it was all in-house. It actually helped us a lot to improve on each and every aspect, because most of the design and development all happened inside the campus of CV Raman, which is having the tool rooms and training center. The center of excellences have helped immensely to BonV to actually scale the product in a way it is today. We proudly say that it is made in India, it is fully indigenous. And from there, by looking at our development, there is a lot of support that came from institutes by giving the funding support. Like IIT Mandi gave us like a funding support, the CV Raman University gave us a funding support. KIT has opened up a funding support. We participate in the Boeing built
$1.6 million is BonV Aero. Congratulations to all of you.
We became the winner of the Boeing built challenge. That gave us visibility to the team of the Boeings to come and help and support us in this journey. Further, we also have like raised investment from institutions like institutional investors and angel networks. Head Start Investment Circle became the first one actually to come forward and write. Like I learned that it was their first investment on a deep tech space, and that was BonV. So they really kind of their syndicate, the angel syndicate, had taken a great risk, right, on or more would say that a belief that they wanted to back a deep tech startup at the first check, and they backed BonV. Further, IPV Inflection Point Venture from Gurgaon also closed a bridge round with them, right, with the Beyond Venture partners and some angels syndicate. Further, we were getting evaluated by a US based venture capitalist who actually came to Sri Sri University here in Odisha to evaluate a couple of startups. And I think from India there were like 1200 applications which were getting evaluated, and among 12 startups who presented in the Sri Sri University, we got the first position. We got the recommendation actually to go to US for the semi-finals and the final rounds. And this was like a TV show. So this is called Meet the Drapers, and this gentleman, Mr. Tim Draper, is like a billionaire venture capitalist in the US who has funded SpaceX, Baidu, Hotmail on their early times and holding like a 25 plus unicorns in his portfolio. We were fortunate to present our startup idea to Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar ji and Chief Justice Bobde along with Mr. Tim Draper, and we got the winner of the India round and went to present the semi-finals in the US. We qualified there, and then with the finals we became the global winner of the 11 startups participated from 11 different countries, and Tim Draper awarded us a prize money of $1.6 million, which is beyond what actually they award in the last couple of seasons in their TV show. $1 million is what the winner gets, but in this case they go beyond. Some of their judges doubled down on their investment and went to $1.6 million. It's a proud moment for our country, because in the US we represented our country. Like the other startup represented their country, we represent our country, and Tim Draper wanted to back a Indian aerial mobility story which works for the Indian defense. Again, a proud moment definitely for a person like him. Coming to our a little bit of my inspiration part, I must tell you that see, we are not just a drone company, okay. We are a aerial mobility company. Today you see that we are developing for mobility for goods. In the future it is for people. We see that the congestion in the traffic, due to which a patient reaching hospital becomes way too difficult. In a hilly area, like getting a soldier wounded, getting a person who is a person in casualty, getting to the hospital becomes very, very challenging. And these are the times when you need quick transportations, a medium that actually can help save people's life. Like my wife says that by our next child, I want to use your aerial mobility platform to go to hospital. So this is deeply inspiring for us to build in this space. Something which have deeply inspired me is the problem that the Indian defense face today, the challenges that is there, because please remember that a defense person is like a very robust person and he never complains. He is like a very brave man, and everything every challenge that we see that they face, there is solution that one startup get to develop for them, and we happen to take this as a challenge to develop first the mobility solution for goods, as in their ration, ammunitions, the green vegetables, the medicines, those for them, and later definitely people mobility. It connects a lot to very personal mind space that actually has helped us to build BonV, and with a big vision of bringing aerial mobility to masses. Like everyone, you and me, tomorrow should be able to climb to our stairs, sit down in a taxi, and go to the hospitals, go to city centers, go to go for a treatment or for our office, for everyday commute even. These platforms are already happening in reality, and soon we will see a big wave of a startup ecosystem will evolve around this and really build massive amount of technology. This is this depends a lot on technology today. I would say the aerospace challenge per se is solved, because we see today general aircrafts are flying in and out every day. So fundamental problems are solved. It is through technology and the artificial intelligence, the AI platforms would ensure that these vehicles to come and work in a connected mobility sphere. When I say connected mobility, there is electric vehicles on the ground and these electric vehicles should be flying in air. See, there are many startups in this space, and there are many startups today in India who are working on the drone space and a few working on the aerial mobility space. But how BonV is different is the payload carrying ability. We have demonstrated heavy payload carrying ability, which is 50 kg in the high altitudes of Himalayas. That has also been recognized by Army, and in partnership with Indian Army with a MOU, we are working together to develop this product for their use. So this is, it's not just a simple MOU, it is also with a lot of grant opportunity and in a grant which is highest in monetary for the Indian Army to give, to award to a startup. In this kind of a collaboration is there with the Indian Army and BonV working together. The name BonV came from Bon Voyage. This word Bon Voyage is actually a French word, and it stands for happy landing, happy journey. So for us, it is very important that you can actually take chances in your takeoff. But when you land, there is only one option and one time you can. So we have taken this as our a goal to make every landing safe and a happy landing. So with this, and our drone platform was also first launched. It was a lucky coincidence that we got an opportunity to present the Indian drone innovation story in Vivatech Paris, and this of our drone was airlifted by our Indian Air Force cargo carrier, a C-17 Globemaster, to Paris, which was a unique opportunity for any startup like us. And it was, we launched our aerial vehicle in 2022 in the in an event in Paris. At BonV, we have a unique team of co-founders and then the first line of leadership. I must tell that it is a A+ team. We are of 6 co-founders. Each of us are coming with 15 years of experience in this space. Like for example, I studied from SRM University and then BITS Pilani in computer science, did my masters, and post that I was working 7 years in a drone company where the entire product life cycle was realized, and I was part of the early team who actually started the company, and from there scaled up to around 300 people, from 3 people to 300 people, like scaling a unique experience of the entire product life cycle in the same domain of drones, right? My 2 co-founders were my colleagues in the previous company, used to take care of the designs and used to take care of the entire system engineering. Is my CTO, coming with 15 years of experience into flight testing, and Mr. Avinash Sahu is very, very instrumental in terms of nitty-gritty of the system development. The end-to-end engineering is done by Avinash, and it is in the last 15 years he has actually done quite a lot into, and each of our co-founder are coming up with entrepreneurs experience, as in we are not first time entrepreneurs. We have built startup, we have failed building startups, and this is a lot of learning at BonV is getting utilized. A lot of learning from the previous startups getting utilized in BonV. So my message to all the young entrepreneurs is to actually focus on your customer. Really understand what do they need, and build for your customer. The customer centricity, the customer obsession will really help you to build a solution that will not only just help the customer, but will also be around the customer all the time, as in they'll be using your product day in and out in their everyday use. So please build it for the customer. It will definitely help you grow.